Yo, Joe. Talking comics, here's your host. It's A Real American Brian.
It's that time! Time to read some more G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero. Issue number 49. We got Dr. Mindbender and Destro carrying a mummy. Oh yeah, you know what that means. Thank you, Mike Zeck, for another classic G.I. Joe cover. Serpentor, written by Larry Hama, pencils by Rod Wiggum. Destro and Dr. Mindbender doing a little casual tomb robbery, and the locals aren't too happy about it. Destro dispatches the locals with his wrist rockets, and Mindbender tells him this is the last one. They have collected the 10 greatest warriors of all time for his experiment. Cobra Commander is happy with the news. The project is going well so far. They have collected the DNA of the 10 greatest warriors of all time, and will use the brainwave scanner to create a super soldier. The bodies are all being brought into Dr. Mindbender's lab, where they must be placed in the proper order for this all to work. He clarifies to the Baroness that he isn't bringing anyone back from the dead. Mindbender is using the DNA from the collected warriors to replicate a working brain, but the memories will be programmed in using the brainwave scanner. He reveals there is an 11th body, as he is adding Storm Shadow's DNA to the mix. The Dreadnoks are chillin', drinking some grape sodas, discussing how Zartan is acting strange. He keeps ducking out on them, and kept asking for the map as they headed back to Springfield. Just then, Firefly and a Televiper barge in, busting up the party. The Televiper reveals that there was an unauthorized call from this location, giving the G.I. Joes the location of Springfield. Firefly gives the order to Scrap Iron to fire at Zartan, who is still on the phone. Ripcord tells Breaker his cover has been blown and begins to fight back. The Cobras finally realize that it isn't Zartan as Ripcord smashes through the glass. Hawk gathers the Joes. With Ripcord's intel, they know where Springfield is, and every Joe is going on this mission, including those with desk duty and the new Joes going on their first mission. We get a rare Yo Joe in the comics. Ripcord jacks a Corvette, not realizing that the owner's young daughter is still in the car. Scrap Iron prepares to fire the car, but is stopped, as the owner of the vet tells him his daughter is still in there. Destro asks Mindbender how the super soldier will have knowledge of modern technology, and how do we know where his allegiances will lie. Mindbender explains he is going to impart some of his own memories into it to make sure it behaves the way they want it. As he straps himself into the scanner, he gives the creation a name, Serpentor. Ripcord pulls over to let the girl out, but rather than get out of the car, she pulls a .357 Magnum on him and tells him he is going to wait until her dad gets back with some Cobra troopers. The Dreadnoks get there first and yank Ripcord out of the car. Hawk gives us a giant roll call of all the Joes being split into two teams as they approach Springfield. We get a couple new Joes in their first appearance, Lift Ticket flying the new Tomahawk helicopter, and Slipstream in a C-130. Inside the Tomahawk, Leatherneck is introduced in his first appearance as part of the assault team. Mindbender is in the brainwave scanner finding out how painful it is. When the Dreadnoks bring Ripcord in and want to use the scanner to figure out what he told the Joes, they rip Mindbender out of the machine and hook Ripcord up. The Televiper reports back to Cobra Commander on Cobra Island that the Joes know where Springfield is. Cobra Commander tells him to have Destro begin the evacuation. The Joes land at Springfield, and some Cobra troopers are alerted. Before they can do anything, Quick Kick takes them out. Scarlet and Snake Eyes are planning some explosives. The Joes take out the power plant, and Springfield is in darkness. As Destro, Baroness, and Firefly begin to make plans, Serpentor awakens, and with his expertise in military strategy and some of Ripcord's memories that were accidentally put into him, tells them exactly what the Joes are doing. He accepts his new name and proceeds to put on the Serpentor gear. Stalker reports into Hawk. They have killed power and communications and taken the police station. They have access to all their files and maps. Hawk on his approach is having trouble with some anti-aircraft weapons that are dug in, but there is no time for another pass. They are landing. Wild Bill takes the Firefly down to ground level and takes care of the guns, clearing a landing for Hawk. Everything Serpentor predicted has come true. Destro and Baroness are going to lead the evacuation, while Serpentor is left in charge of holding the Joes off until they are clear. Destro doesn't fully trust him, but Firefly will be with him, and has been given the order to take Serpentor out if he proves not to be loyal to Cobra. Hawk on the ground now knows they need to find the Cobra HQ before they can mount a counterattack. Stalker reports in that the recon team has seen large Cobra movements at the museum, and that has to be the HQ. They roll out as many vehicles as they can, headed that way. Serpentor rallies the Cobra troops he is left with, telling them they have been left to what is called a holding mission, but is more of a suicide mission. But he doesn't intend to die and will not expend their lives without cause. He intends to hold off the Joes here. That is issue 49, packed full of action and story. A new major threat to the Joes and Serpentor is born, or reborn, or created, or something. All the Joes in action at Springfield, what an issue. My favorite panel from this issue is the final one of the book. Serpentor showing his military expertise, knowing a soldier's mind, and announcing himself as the greatest threat to G.I. Joe ever. I'm going to give this story 5 flag points. Serpentor is here, and I can't wait to get into these upcoming issues. Big issue 50 is up next. Issue 49 is in the books. Now you know, and knowing is half the battle. Subscribe so you don't miss the next one, as things are really picking up now.
So long from Brian. Until next time, same Brian time, same Brian channel.